Welcome, everybody. It's beautiful to be with you again. And we have Beauty and Business with Al, that's me. And we are covering some of our wonderful success stories over the next few months. So we're going to be bringing you these success stories because this is about women connecting with women, women inspiring women. And we love that. We love that at Brow Secrets International. It's so important to us. And today we have the beautiful Bianca. Hi, Bianca.
Hi, Elle. Hi, everybody.
Bianca, I have to say that Bianca, I don't have favorites because it's naughty to say you have favorites, right? But sometimes, I mean, what can you do, right? You have to just admit it. It's one of my favorite people. And there's lots of reasons for that. And one of them is that you really, like Bianca, let me speak directly to you about that. There's something so amazing about you that I've watched since I've had the joy, really, of meeting you. And we're going to talk all about that anyway and share with everyone, what was so wonderful about meeting you for me. And but it's really been quite a special time having Bianca, mentoring her, supporting her, training her in the TrueBrow system, the collection. But it's just amazing. So welcome, Bianca, and thank you for being here with me today and giving us your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your kind words.
You're welcome. Well, they're true. And I think one of the things that we really want to focus on today is what makes someone really, even though they're in a lot of fear and they're afraid and they don't think they can do something, what are the key things that really can make that person turn into a businesswoman that is growing a successful business, thinking differently. That's you. I mean, that's actually literally what you did with Brows and with Brow Secrets International, and now with TrueBrow, the consumer brand. You've just put on your first team member, which is very exciting.
Very exciting and not as scary as I thought, Elle. It's all going really, really well. Yeah, Mel's great. She's going for her masterclass on the 17th of this month, and yeah, she's enjoying it just as much as I did. So
she's coming to me. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited about that. So I think that you also started in your home salon, and now you're on a commercial street front. You've actually signed a lease. You've got your salon. You've got your first team member, and I want to go through step by step how that all happens, so that when other women are actually watching this that maybe are at home now and, they may even be afraid of putting on a team or building a team. I really want to go through step by step finding out how you did it. So let's go back to the beginning. I remember when you actually first started with us. I'm not sure that I spoke to you on the phone. Who did you speak to? It was quite some time ago, wasn't it? Now,
I believe it was.
Yeah, so it wasn't actually me. I do recall that. And I remember you coming to your first masterclass, and that was amazing. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of other training courses that you do, you think it's just going to be a couple of day course and it's done with. You've got your skill, you go on and you create your art, I guess. But I'll never forget coming home from that masterclass. I was sitting on the plane, and I had my little information sheet that I was to fill out to give you guys feedback. And it was the confidence that I had, that I knew that I'd gotten from that masterclass. I realised that I'd actually scored a mentor, not just another training program. And I started to think, why can't I own a salon? Why can't I have staff? I really started thinking the possibilities were endless. And yeah, I think just the confidence that I got from that class was the biggest thing, Elle.
Yeah, I remember that so well. Like, I actually remember it as if it was yesterday. I could see it in your eyes. Like, you really just completely, you came in one way and you left another. And then the amazing thing is that you kept it going, which I really, really love. We've got Angela here saying, hi, Bianca, great work. How awesome. That's so gorgeous.
Hello.
Hi, Angela. I don't know who Angela is, but I'm saying hi anyway. It's very sweet, beautiful that she's. If anyone else is watching too, please let us know where you're watching from. Would love to know. That's fantastic. So I remember there were certain key things in that masterclass because, of course, you were doing your online training with us first, weren't you? Mm-hmm. I remember you were doing brows and you were just posting them. Do you remember I contacted you and I'm thinking, who is this woman?
Slow down. Yeah. I'm a bull at a gate. Yeah, I'm a bull at a gate. But the training, even the online training, is just so interesting, you know. Like anything, if you're loving it, you just don't want to stop. I know the reasoning behind doing things at the time frame that you guys wanted. But yeah, I just loved it. I'd put my kids to bed at 8 p.m. and I'd be online till 1 a.m. just learning about how to design brows.
Amazing.
Yes, I didn't want to stop.
But, you know, you really stood out to me because, you know, that there was that real hunger. And I think that's really, really important. When we have a hunger, when we've got this burning desire to actually accomplish something, it really is so sensational. And I have to say you had that. You had that right at the beginning. And you really took complete responsibility for learning the skill and then moving through your fear. It was really quite astonishing to me. I mean, I was so proud of you. I'm still so proud of you. And I can't wait to watch you continue to flourish and to grow. And this has not been without having to pay costs. You know, like you've had to pay the costs of, you know, moving through your fear, contacting me, reaching out to me, doing, how many master classes did you do?
I think I've done 3 or 4.
Yeah, so I think you have to. I think you have to. You've done quite a few. And every time, you know, Bianca was in a masterclass, guys, I used to think, oh, Bianca's coming. You know, there's something about someone that is really committed to their life and really committed to their dreams and just in believing that something is possible. So for me, I just couldn't help it. I had to constantly be reaching out to her and supporting her because I just loved it so much. So what was the key thing in the masterclass, do you think, Bianca, that really, you know, really got you to look at what was possible for you? Like you came in thinking one thing and then you left thinking, whoa, what was it? Can you remember?
There's a couple of things. Definitely, again, the confidence that you instill in the clients. In your girls. You know, you just make us believe that we can. You tell us the whole time that we're there, you know, you can achieve your dreams. You can do it. And if somebody tells you those things over and over, you do start to believe it. And also eliminating fear. You talk about that a lot. And, you know, I'm eliminating fear today. This is so out of my comfort zone, but you've just got to, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Yes, everybody knows how scared I am, but, you know, what's the worst that can happen? And I think towards the end, especially with my move from being in the hairdressing salon then to having my own shop front, what was more scary was knowing what if, you know, what if I didn't do it? Could I have been successful? Could I have had my own business? And that to me was more scary than putting myself out there and having my own salon.
I love that. I love that so much. And Leanne, is it Liana? Liana?
Yes.
Liana saying so proud of you. We're proud of her too. We're proud of her too. We're so proud of her. And you know, that's another thing too I want to bring up. I knew this was not going to be easy for you, actually coming on and actually doing this interview. But, you know, it's so interesting. I just knew how good for you it would be. And I know that even though it's out of your comfort zone, you're still going to step up and you're still going to do it. And you did. And I love that. And you said something to me earlier about your children. You said that, you know, how could I tell them to do things that that are out of their comfort zone if I don't do it myself? Do you want to share a little bit about that with us?
Yeah, well, it's true. You know, my son, he does gymnastics now and he's so good at it. He can do aerial cartwheels and things like that. And he's all self-taught. Wow. You know, I remember taking him to gymnastics and he wouldn't even go out on the floor, you know, with all the other kids. He was so scared. And I know how nervous he was to do that. And I thought, well, if I've pushed my son to eventually go on and do gymnastics and just little things like that we tell our kids all the time, you'll be fine, you know, you'll be okay, you can do it. I'm really scared to do this. But I had to tell myself, put your money where your mouth is and just do it. You'll be okay.
I love it. I love it. And I think what you're sharing is, I speak about this in the Power Shift that's coming out April the 2nd too. I speak about through, you know, teaching our children and others through demonstration. So when we're teaching through demonstration, we're not actually telling them, and not just words, they're feeling us, because we're doing the very same thing. We're demonstrating to them and we're saying, hey, you know, look at me, I'm scared, but guess what? I'm not going to value the fear. I'm moving forward. I love that. I love it. It is the truest form of teaching is through demonstration. And you know, I love it, Bianca. Absolutely beautiful. So what was the key thing again? Like I kept telling you, you can do it. And I know that every one of my students can do it. I mean, 100% clear on that. But something in you just really, I mean, it was almost as if something just clicked in you and you just kind of were unstoppable in a lot of ways. I know we had a lot of conversations on the phone, and when you had things that were coming up and, you know, just supporting you to move through them. Was there any one particular thing that, I mean, I know you love brows and you're very good at them, but was there any one particular thing that stands out for you that was possible, that sort of just clicked in your mind and you thought, you know, I'm just going to move forward? Was it like that, or was it a gradual thing?
And it was a gradual thing, you know. I didn't come home and start my salon in the hairdresser the next day. You know, we had a few conversations. I even, like, I'm such an open book. I tell my clients, you know, I'm thinking about going into a hairdressing salon, but I'm so nervous. And so it was a gradual thing. And then with my hairdressing, when I was in a room at a hairdressing salon, they needed the space back after a year. So again, that wasn't a quick decision. That was sort of a necessary decision too. It was like, oh, well, I can't be here anymore. I'm not going to go home. So I may as well have a look at what's available. And that's how the salon became. So, yeah, it was a gradual thing.
And let me ask you something. So you're in Mackay?
Yep.
Correct. And so anyone that's watching from Mackay, we're going to definitely put this on our TrueBrow social media page too, because we really want Mackay to really get a sense of who you are and why you're so trustworthy with the work that you do. I mean, one of the things that I really love about the girls that actually enter in our programs is there's such a quality of integrity, authenticity, and just realness, you know. And I know that anyone that's going to come to you in your salon is going to get that from you. You're so down to earth, and you truly want what's best for the brow and for the woman. And I just love that. Like, I can work with that, you know. If I have that, I can really work with that, and that's amazing. And tell me what you love so much about the TrueBrow system. What is it that because I know that it's something you absolutely adore. I remember you being on every live class you possibly could get your hands on. You had brows up everywhere, really pulling and just getting as much knowledge as, I mean, we're always giving it, but you were just there and just extracting the knowledge and learning and accepting the feedback. But what do you love about the TrueBrow system the most in your salon? What is it that inspires you so much about it?
Just constantly amazing clients at how their brows can be, you know. I'm one of those people that had pencil thin brows once upon a time. We all did it growing up in the 80s and the 90s. And just by having the knowledge that I have from the TrueBrow system, growing them back a little bit, doing a bit of shading, people walk out amazed. That's their own brows. Even now that I'm training Mel, she's been watching me do a few designs, and she's constantly going, oh my God, like, look at her brows. Look how different they were when they came in. And people see that all day, every day.
So with your TrueBrow system, let me ask a little bit more about that. Now that we introduced the TrueBrow program and the collection, which both of those, you know, are amazing. I mean, we're so excited that we get to sort of give that to our salon owners so that they've actually got a premium brow product inside their salon. And I would go as far as to say that we're probably the world's premium brow range and brand, brow brand. And I say that because of the quality of the skill that every one of our TrueBrow specialists really has to earn. I mean, you have to earn it, Bianca. This is the other thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's not a 2-day course, let me give you a certificate. I mean, you really had to earn it, and you really stepped up and you did it, you know, which is amazing. But, you know, one of the things that I want to go back to with that is that there is so much education, isn't there? So with the TrueBrow program, with assessing the brow, so we're talking about correction, we're talking about restoration. This is not just restoration, is it? Correction, transformation. I mean, it's about every brow that comes into your salon being able to transform the woman. I mean, how do you feel about that you can offer women that sort of a service?
Yeah, it's second to none, and it really is fulfilling. You know, it sounds so cliche, but you change women's lives. You know, you can see the way that they change sometimes in their confidence just by getting their brows done. It seems like such a simple thing, but yeah, it can really bring out the confidence in a woman. And I guess, yeah, I was just going to say, like with brows, you know, it's like having a baby. You wish you could have a manual for, you know, how to, you know, raise a child, and there isn't one. But it's like brows. I always wanted to do amazing brows. I always had an interest in it. If there was a manual on brows, this is it. The TrueBrow system is it.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, I love hearing that. Hey, yay, this is it. I agree with you, actually, 100%. Yeah. That it is. But it's lovely to hear you say it, you know, because, I mean, we put so much effort into the system. What do you think about the collection? Like, I know you're selling it like hotcakes, and you're doing so exceptionally well. And we've got new boxes, which is really exciting too. Yeah, that's absolutely stunning, isn't it? Wow. I think everyone's going to be keeping their boxes after their collection's been taken out of it, for sure. I know that I would. But, you know, how do you feel about offering the collection, and how is it different to anything else you've ever used? I know it took a little bit of time for you to get used to it because it's so easy to use, in fact. How is it for you in the salon? Like, what are your clients saying about it, and what do you love about it?
I definitely am 100% in love with the collection now. It did take me a little while to get used to it. I was used to the products that we had before. So for me, change is big. And I have to love something from the bottom of my heart to sell it. In fact, I can remember for the first couple of months, I probably didn't mention it to a lot of my clients because I hadn't fallen in love with it yet. But then I made a commitment to myself to use it on every single client to get myself used to using it. And within, you know, a couple of weeks, it was selling like hotcakes. And, you know, makeup's not my forte. But then I've got Mel that's just come in, and she's a makeup artist, and she was watching me the other day and saw how I did it, and she said, oh, you do it so great, and you do it so naturally and so easily. So obviously I am doing it good now. And she had some friends of hers come in and do some brow designs on Saturday just as a bit of a practice. I wasn't actually in the salon. And all these girls are young. They've used millions of different brow products. And she's already sent me some messages saying how all the friends love it, and it's so much easier to use, and they hate the stuff they've got now. So it's really getting a great name out.
What I really love about it, I have to say, you know, because we developed it and we researched and developed it, and it's something really quite beautiful. And there's nothing like it in the marketplace at all. But especially now when the fuller brow is just so in, and it's so important for women who are going through restoration, or even you know, women that are coming to us. A lot of women are coming to us now with issues with tattooing, whether it's microblading or whatever. And what I'm finding, I don't know if you're finding this, but I'm finding that the collection is really helping us to help them correct color correction, like just simply, I mean, they're going to have to do it every day, but correcting the color, the shape, because the shape sometimes is just so awkward, or it's just, you know, it's wearing off in really weird ways. So they've got these really crazy kind of shaped brows. And the collection is really supporting us in helping them to actually correct it, you know. So, I mean, I can't speak highly enough of the collection because I love the beauty of it, how natural it leaves the brow looking, and how powerful it is for correction and restoration. But it's lovely hearing it from you. And you know, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, you're just really retailing this product so amazingly. So obviously, women are loving it. So where do they come in? Where do they come? They obviously come to Bianca Jade Brow Artistry and Beauty in Mackay, so that they can find you, so you can give them either a TrueBrow Brow Discovery session, or you can give them a TrueBrow collection workshop, whatever it is that you're doing, so that you can help them to have the most beautiful brows possible. Correct.
You know, it really does sell itself. I noticed with a lot of the tattooing, you can get like pinky tones or a real warm tone, like almost a reddy orange tone. And what I've noticed about the TrueBrow, just the colouring, it's so much more natural it just matches your eyebrow hairs more than anything else I've ever used. It takes that warmness out. And what else was I going to say? And that's what I tell my clients as well. You're in control. So many people want to get their brows tattooed, but they don't realize that you still have to maintain them. You'll still come and see me as much as, it's not a quick fix. It's, if anything, it's going to be more work, I feel, in the long run. But you're in control. You can have a natural brow one day. The next day you can have a bold brow. You're in control. It's not permanent,
Yeah,
And
I love that, Bianca. Sorry, keep going. I interrupted you.
No, I was nearly finished anyway. I was just going to say I think that's really important. I don't know how you can make a decision to tattoo your brows in a couple of days, Some people are just going out and doing it. But, try natural first. I think you'd be highly surprised. So.
Yes, I completely agree. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to our beauty, and especially on our face, we want to minimize the risk as much as possible. And sadly, tattooing, microblading, doesn't matter what they call it, it does have risks associated, and there are no guarantees. So, every woman for herself, everyone's going to make their own choices. And when they need us, we're always there for them. I know that during our masterclass events and our advanced masterclasses, we're doing so much correction. We're helping so many women that have gone through this devastating process of the tattoo discoloring, scarring, the design is like really awkward, it's wearing off badly. So, it's not about stopping people from making their decisions. And some people love tattooing, so it's completely fine. All of it is fine, but we want them to know that if they do need us, we're there. And I always say to every single woman, try your natural brow first. Go to experts. Go to those people that are a TrueBrow specialist, a TrueBrow restoration specialist. Go there first. If you try that and it doesn't work, well, which is very rare, but let's just say that you just get a little bit of your hair back and you don't get everything. At least if you do go and take that other alternative, you're going to have a much, much more beautiful brow. We haven't even touched on the follicle damage and what it does in the future to the brow. I mean, I don't want to go into bagging tattooing because I don't want to be against anything. I just want women to make those informed decisions. And I think that's very much what you're talking about, is try, go to the specialist first. Get us not just a brow artist. I mean, that's the difference too, isn't it, really, Bianca? This is what we're talking about, is that the TrueBrow system is an ongoing educational system. So, it's not like coming for 2 days or 3 days. And I mean, women are being trained in tattooing in 2 days, 5 days, whereas we're educating girls to become beauty professionals, to become brow designers over a year, 2 years, 3 years. So it just doesn't make any sense, right? But the whole idea of it is that when you go to a TrueBrow specialist, like, ladies, if you do go to Bianca, she's going to take such special care of your eyebrows. And the way that we see beauty is so different, isn't it? Did you learn when you came to Brow Secrets International, Bianca, and Brow Secrets International being our industry brand, that's the brand for the beauty industry, and TrueBrow being our consumer brand, when you came to train with us at Brow Secrets International, was there something that you learnt about beauty? How was that for you?
Yeah, I've always known how important it is. That's why I love my job so much.
But the beauty, I guess what I'm saying is brow beauty. Like, the way we look at the brows is really different, isn't it?
Well, what do they say? It's 90% of your selfie or whatever. But it frames your face. I know of a weekend, I might just put a tiny bit of the collection on. But I do definitely feel so much, you bring your beauty forward when you've got your collection on. You feel great. And it just finishes your face. So, yeah, it's very important for women and their beauty.
So where you are right now in your business, you're actually you came from a home salon. I remember actually having a conversation with you. I want to go back because I forgot to mention this, and this was so important to me. I love that I got to really support you in this. I think you mentioned something about your hubby being away mining. Is that right? He's away from home, and your dream was to earn enough money so that he could come back and be at home with you guys. And that really touched my heart. Like, I felt really moved by that. And I thought, you know what, if I could help you make that happen, that would be such a reward You know, like I would be so happy if I could put my energy into making that a reality. So how is that going?
Yeah, it's really good. He keeps moving the distance. Like it comes closer, and he says, "Oh, another year," but that's men for you. But yeah, financially, it's put us in such a good position. I can remember when we went out for dinner after one of the master classes, I sat down with you and told you that one of the kids' birthdays had come up, and I actually bought their bikes. You know, I don't, not that it was ever an issue, but I don't have to rely on my husband financially all the time anymore. It's pretty much even.
Isn't that
and yeah, I can remember that moment as a very big one for me, you know, that I bought the kids both bikes for their birthdays. That was pretty cool. And I was quite bored. Like, my husband's out at work Monday to Friday, and I started to get quite bored. You know, having kids is a bit of a mundane thing, and I didn't have anything to aspire to, anything to keep me busy. So you've definitely kept me very, very busy, and I don't mind so much that he's out there anymore. I still miss him, but yeah, it's definitely not as bad.
And I think what I'm hearing from you is that you feel like you're now contributing to the family in a financial way as well. So it's kind of bringing out a new level of value that you're offering to your family, which, I mean, you know, that's amazing too, even though I think that women looking after children is probably the most important job, you know, that a woman could possibly do, you know, is to raise her children. And I know you're incorporating that actually quite well. Like you're very careful with that and making sure you've got that time with family.
Definitely. I've got a really good balance. So I have Mondays off. I work full-time Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So they only have to go to care 3 days a week after school. So I'm mum Mondays, and I pick them up on Fridays. I finish at 2:30, and then I have every second Saturday off. So, and that's the reason, I was going to say before too, that's the reason why I decided to go into the salon and have staff, is so that, you know, in a couple of years' time, I can work school hours and then go back to spending more time with my kids. You know, they'll be doing after-school sport even more, and I love that I have that to look forward to, that I can create my own destiny. So
wow. Oh my gosh, I think I've heard those words before. I love them. And Bianca, let me just ask you about, because you sort of touched on a little bit, the bigger picture here, because you are a success story for me. I mean, there's absolutely no you're a Brow Secrets International success story. But let's talk a little bit about the bigger picture for you. You just sort of touched on it a little bit then, but so you're sharing that what you really want to do, because I do speak about this a lot, yeah? Getting away from being behind the chair, like actually getting to literally work on your business and expanding your business to the point where you are actually working on it, yeah? So tell me a little bit about your bigger picture. I know you touched on it, but you know, what would be your ideal, like, I always want my students to focus on what they want, right? Not what you have right now, because that's fine. But what do you really want? What would your bigger picture be?
And I remember something else that you always said too, is to work smarter, not harder. And as much as I love my job, I'll never not be in the salon, I don't think, because I do love it. You know, you can't work 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. every single day of your life, especially when you've got kids. It's just not fair on them. So I needed to change it so that I could do less hours. And that was why I had Mel come along now, and I'll train her up. But yeah, I've lost my track of thought a bit. Refresh me a bit, Elle.
So we're talking about the bigger picture. That's fine. We're talking about the bigger picture and just what that is for you. And I think you were mentioning before about the kids. You know, like for me as a mum, I was a single mum, a little bit like what you're going through right now with hubby being away. But, you know, for me, I was actually a single mum, and I knew that the teenage years, I've got to tell every mother this, like every mother that's working, we think that the younger years are important, and they are. They're very important, like for that bonding and that real safety, the child really feeling connected to the parent. But, you know, we can't, you know, the teenage years are so important too, because that's where we need to be alert, especially nowadays, I think, and it's a real responsibility to bring children into the world and take them through those teenage years. So, you know, it's wonderful to hear that maybe at that time, well, I think it's really a possibility, actually, I won't even go maybe, that you will even have more time to be with them and just be connected and be able to have the choice. I mean, this is what it is, isn't it, Bianca? It's the freedom to choose whether we want, you know, be with our children or we want to be at work, or we think that our kids are okay and we're going to be at work. It's that freedom to choose that's so, so important. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's great. And Brow Secrets International and the TrueBrow system has given me that flexibility, you know, like I don't have to worry about when I have holidays, you know. We're going to Blues Fest in Byron Bay in a couple of weeks' time, and I've just decided to drive, so I needed one extra day either side, and I can do that because I'm the boss, you know, and it's fantastic. It's good. It's really, really good.
So beautiful. I just love it. I love hearing, you know, just how comfortable you are now with what you're creating. I think you've really come such a long way. And I'm just having a little look here about eliminating fear. You know, we spoke about that, and I think that one of the things that you've done so exceptionally well is that even though you've had the fear, you've actually just seemed to just have it, but still do it anyway. You know, it's kind of like, oh, there's fear, okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Is that how it's been for you?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon I nearly had an anxiety attack when I signed the forms for the lease for this new salon. It was a fear that I've never felt before. But I know that with the skill that I've got from Brow Secrets International and the TrueBrow system, you know, I can cover the monthly rent just working on my own full time. So I guess, you know, and I spoke to my accountant. I didn't just jump into it, but even the accountant said, you're mad not to. So, yeah.
And I know you said that you closed your books because you had such a, well, you could say that now that Mel's going to start and she's going to be doing some of the work, you'll be able to bring those people through. But you had like a waiting list, right? You had people waiting to get in, and just for the, you know, to have the TrueBrow system and Bianca Baker and the TrueBrow system, just to come in for brows. You had that going on, and now with Mel, of course, that's going to end. But you were just so busy that you know, I read in your notes that you have to actually literally close your books. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's not many spaces left. I sort of book half a year in advance, so I'll sit down at the start of the year and I'll organise from January to June. So I've pretty much got a handful of appointments in June, July, and then I'll have to rebook all those clients for the end of the year. So there's no room to move really. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I had to make the decision, did I want that to be it? And I didn't. So that's why I hired Mel, and now she'll do the same thing. We've started up a, what do you call it, like a waiting list on Facebook to get in with Mel, and she's already got about 40, 50 people waiting for her to start her. And so
that is just fantastic. I mean, how exciting is that? It's not like you're even thinking that, oh my gosh, I wonder if Mel's going to do okay. It's kind of, you've got 40, 50 people waiting for the TrueBrow system. And then, of course, you've got the cream on top of that of the TrueBrow collection, which obviously these people are going to really, really love. I mean, there is just no stopping you. I just want to tell you that. I can't believe how well you've done. And I mean, I think this is just the beginning, to tell you the truth. I really, really do. And as I said, you've earned every single bit of it. You've been committed. You've not made excuses. You've just, if there's a problem, I mean, guys, I just want to share this with you. I'm not speaking to Bianca right now. I'm speaking to you, and I'm actually speaking about her. So I hope she doesn't mind, but it's all good. She never made excuses. If she couldn't do something, she reached out. You know, there was just this constant like movement forward, and it was all just about where she wanted to be, where she wanted to get. And I always say to people, don't worry about where you are now. Don't get stuck in the mud in where you are now if it's not where you really want to be. Focus on what you want. Focus on where you want to get. And you know, being a visionary, it's going to sound outrageous to you. You're going to go, really? Can I do that? And then it's like, oh, well, why can't I? And I think that she is an absolute example of you know, how that is absolutely true and absolutely possible. I mean, Bianca told us in her own words. Would you agree with me, Bianca?
Yeah.
And you know what another thing that I really want to share with everyone too is that it's not like it's been easy. You know, it's not like Bianca is just all of a sudden, bam, it's just happened and she's decided that all of a sudden, you know, she's going to be fantastic and amazing. she really has worked very, very hard. So that has just been beautiful. I'm actually having a look at some of your notes here that you sent through, because I don't want anyone to miss out on actually anything, because you wrote down some really amazing, amazing things. And we did speak about the bigger picture, which I really loved. So what do you really want? What would you say would be your dream come true now that you've achieved so much of your dream right now? Because you have really, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm just going to keep going until I meet demand. You know, once Mel's full, then I'll hopefully hire another girl and hopefully have a team of girls, and mostly so that people don't have to go anywhere else. You know, I hate the feeling of having to turn people back, and I do it so often. And then I just know that they'll go somewhere and they may not be happy with how their brows are. So I'd love to have a bunch of girls working and the TrueBrow system available, even for people just walking off the street, you know, that can come in and have a brow design straight away. They don't have to wait.
That's amazing, amazing.
So,
amazing.
Yeah.
And I think, sorry, go ahead, Bianca, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's my dream, and definitely to sort of just work a few days a week and spend time with my children. They are the most important thing, and I think that's what drives you as a mum. It's hard when you're not there sometimes, but it's only really been last year that I've had to build my business and miss a few things. But this year, you know, I've booked out sports days, I've booked out swimming carnivals, some school holidays. You can really be available for your children. So yeah, I'm halfway to my dream. It's just, I think, going to get bigger and better.
It's amazing. And I think what I'm hearing you say is that your business isn't taking over your life. In fact, what you're doing is you're working your business so it works in with your life. And I think that's a huge part really of what, you know, what we teach at Brow Secrets International. We're very heavy into, you know, family and making sure that you're taking care of the children, and it's somehow it's working, you know. Because if you can't succeed in just one part of your life and not in every, you know, we're holistic sort of like human beings. We're not just compartmentalized. We can't just go, oh, I've got such a successful business, but my children are falling apart. I mean, that's not true success, is it? Another thing I want to talk to you about and share and see if there's anything you'd like to share is leadership. But we do a lot of work in Brow Secrets International. We do business classes for our licensees and ambassadors as salon owners. You know, has it helped you having like the mindset that we really are founded in? Has that been supportive to you? I mean, I hear that it is, but even though in the way that you lead, you're going to lead Mel and the rest of your team when you bring them on, how has that helped you having that?
I guess you just know that you have the skill, and I've got the support of you guys, you know. Not that I recommend all the girls to do this, but I used to message Elle at 11 p.m. at night, and, you know, nothing was ever a silly question or, you know, but you're just always available. So I feel with you guys behind me that I can be a good leader. I can talk underwater with my clients, and I'm so not nervous to do that, but something like this is very nerve-wracking. And I guess being a boss, I don't know how I'm gonna do it that, but I know that I've got your support, and I think that takes away the fear.
That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. And I think, and you do have it at 150%, as do all our other girls. And I think what's really important is, you know, when you see a shining light like Bianca Baker from Bianca Jade Brow Artistry Mackay, and beauty. Sorry, I've got to add that. So I don't even think about the beauty because all I think about is brow. Sorry, Bianca. But you know, when you see a shining light like that, you just can't help but just want to just keep giving and just keep pouring into her because she so deserves it. Mackay is so lucky to have you, Bianca. We're lucky to have you. Mel's lucky to have you. And we want to catch up with you again maybe in about 6 months to 8 months' time and see where you're at and how you're going and what you're doing. That would be great for our audience, wouldn't it? And I wanted this interview, as I want all our success stories of BSI, to really inspire other women. I want it to inspire other women if they've got a dream. It doesn't even have to be about brows. It could be about something completely different. That your dreams do matter because you matter. And you know, don't ever give up on what it is that you think is possible. Even if you just have that tiny little thought in your mind that it's possible, you just go forward and you start looking into it to make it happen. Bianca, thank you so much for sharing. What I've heard today from you is that life is good, and that brows are doing it for you, and have changed your life. That, you know, and we just love having you in our brow family. It's just been fantastic.
Thank you so much, Elle. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I definitely jumped on here today because I do owe everything I have in my business to you and Brow Secrets International. I've just never felt so much a part of something. It really is, you know, we've been, you know, the girls often say it's like a bit of a cult. Well, it sort of is, you know. I can remember if I had questions, I'd message some of the other girls that had their gold, bronze certification at that time, and I was surprised at how willing they were to, you know, share their ups and downs and really say, you know, you won't pick it up instantly, but I promise you after a little while you will. Because I am impatient, I wanted to get it straight away. And, you know, it is like a big family. Everyone's so supportive, and yeah, it's like nothing else I've ever seen. So thank you.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, we can't exist without all of you beautiful women. And yes, they do say we're a bit of a cult, but I always say when someone comes in and does something so different to what the norm is, you have to put it somewhere because you don't understand. It's like, can that be real? I mean, could that actually be real? There's a company that gives so much and loves so much, and there is, it is true, isn't it? And it is real. And we don't have to be a cult so that we're amazing. We're not that. We're just a fantastic group of women and our amazing back-end team that is just so incredible here, doing amazing things in the world. And I think that more companies should do what we do. More companies should be giving more and should be just like sharing more and really just, you know, like I think heart first. And I think that's what you do. I was thinking that before. I had to end this interview, Bianca. It really is about heart first. And I think we do that at Brow Secrets International. We do it at TrueBrow. But I think you absolutely do that. And that's what I mean when I say you're a shining light. And Rebecca says, go be. So she must be one of someone that you know, and that's so beautiful. You've got a lot of support here. So thanks, Bianca, for giving me your time. I know how valuable it is. And I know that this wasn't easy for you, but you did it. And again, I'm proud of you. You just never cease to amaze me. And I think you're going to be such an inspiration for so many other women when they listen to this interview and they really start thinking about what they actually want in their life. And yeah, there you are. So that's so beautiful. Thank you so much, darling, for being with us. And we're going to share this because I think that, you know, I think it's great for people to feel like, wow, to feel so happy about, you know, someone else's success and to be inspired by it. So I'm so excited. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for dropping in. And, of course, other people will be watching and commenting later. And we'll be back with another success story at Brow Secrets International, TrueBrow, and sharing some of our other amazing TrueBrow specialists, what they've done with the system, what they've done with their lives, with the mindset, with heart first. That's the way the world is moving, and we're all the way. Thank you in that direction. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Bianca. Thank you to our audience. Goodbye now. Take care.
Bye.
Bye now.